Josiah Quincy III was a U.S. educator and political figure. He was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, Mayor of Boston, and President of Harvard University. The historic Quincy Market in downtown Boston is named in his honor. Life and politics. Early life and education. Quincy, the son of Josiah Quincy II and Abigail Phillips, was born in Boston, on that part of Washington Street that was then known as Marlborough Street. His father had traveled to England in 1774, partly for his health but mainly as an agent of the Patriot cause with the Friends of the Colonists in London. Josiah Quincy II died off the coast of Gloucester on April 26, 1775. His son, young Josiah, was not yet 3 years old. He entered Phillips Academy, Andover, when it opened in 1778, and graduated from Harvard in 1790. After his graduation from Harvard, he studied law for 3 years under the tutorship of William Tudor. Quincy was admitted to the bar in 1793, but was never a prominent advocate. In 1797, Quincy married Eliza Susan Morton of New York, younger sister of Jacob Morton. They had 7 children: Eliza Susan Quincy, Josiah Quincy, Jr., Abigail Phillips Quincy, Maria Sophia Quincy, Margaret Morton Quincy, Edmund Quincy, and Anna Cabot Lowell Quincy. Career. In 1798, Quincy was appointed Boston Town Orator by the Board of Selectmen, and in 1800 he was elected to the school committee. Quincy became a leader of the Federalist Party in Massachusetts, was an unsuccessful candidate for the United States House of Representatives in 1800, and served in the Massachusetts Senate in 1804–5. From 1805 to 1813, he was a member of the United States House of Representatives, where he was one of the small Federalist minority. He attempted to secure the exemption of fishing vessels from the Embargo Act, urged the strengthening of the United States Navy, and vigorously opposed the admittance of Louisiana as a state in 1811. In this last matter he stated as his deliberate opinion, that if this bill passes, the bonds of this union are virtually dissolved, that the states that compose it are free from the moral obligations, and that, as it will be the right of all, so it will be the duty of some, to prepare definitely for a separation, amicably if they can, violently if they must. Quote, "This was probably the first assertion of the right of secession on the floor of Congress." Quincy left Congress because he saw that the Federalist opposition was useless. In 1812, Quincy was a founding member of the American Antiquarian Society. After leaving Congress, Quincy was a member of the Massachusetts Senate until 1820. In 1821–22, he was a member and Speaker of the Massachusetts House of Representatives. Quincy resigned from the legislature to become judge of the Municipal Court of Boston. On April 8, 1822, Quincy was a candidate for mayor in Boston's first election under a city charter. After the first ballot, the votes of this first election were split between Quincy and Harrison Gray Otis. Because neither had a majority of the electorate, neither was elected. After the first vote resulted in neither man receiving a majority of the votes, they both withdrew their candidacies and John Phillips was elected, Boston's first mayor. In 1823, Quincy was elected as the second mayor of Boston. He would serve 6 one-year terms from 1823 to 1828. During his terms as mayor, Quincy Market was built, the fire and police departments were reorganized, and the city's care of the poor was systematized. From 1829 to 1845, he was president of Harvard University, of which he had been an overseer since 1810, when the board was reorganized. He has been called the great organizer of the university. Quote, He gave an elective system an elaborate trial, introduced a system of marking on which college rank and honors, formerly rather carelessly assigned, were based, first used courts of law to punish students who destroyed or damaged college property, and helped to reform the finances of the university. During his term, Dane Hall was dedicated, Gore Hall was built, and the astronomical observatory was equipped. Quincy House, one of the university's 12 upper-class residential houses, is named for him. His last years were spent principally on his farm in Quincy, Massachusetts, where he died on July 1, 1864. Works: A Municipal History of the Town and City of Boston during 2 centuries from September 17, 1630 to September 17, 1830, Boston, Charles C. Little and Amp, James Brown, 1852. History of Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts, 1840. The History of the Boston Athenaeum, with biographical notices of its deceased founders, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Metcalfe and Company, 1851. Essay on the Soiling of Cattle, 1852.